So first thing you have to ask, what is the value of b, right? So then only you can go with the log b of t, right? So here the b is always going to be positive. B cannot be negative. Okay, so you cannot plot a graph for a log of -1 base -1 அப்படிங்கிறது வந்துட்டு. So there's not, it's not exist. Okay, so first thing you have to ask, what is the value of b? So the value of b, so அந்த b பொறுத்துட்டு இந்த கிராஃபோட graph வந்துட்டு so அதோட nature வந்து vary ஆகும். For example, so there are two values where the log curve can vary. Okay, so either if the b is from 0 to 1 இருக்கலாம், or the b can be greater than 1. So these are all the two values. So we will be plotting for log b. Okay, so fine. So let's take whatever the value it can be. So okay, so now let's try to plot this graph. Okay, so what is the value of log base b? So what it will give? What is the value of log base b? Log base b and b. Yeah, please unmute and give me the answer.
The value is b.
Sorry, what? It is 1, right? Log base b is equal to 1, correct? Okay. So it is 1. Okay, fine. So yeah, so this is let's keep 1 here. Okay, and here we have taken b as a 0 to 1, correct? So let me keep b here. Okay, let me keep somewhere b here. So when this is your t, okay, this is your t, and this is log base bt, right? Okay, this is your y, right? So this is y is equal to, okay, so log base bb, when t is equal to b, this is going to be what? This is going to be 1, correct? This is going to be 1. So this value is going to be 1. What is the value of log base b1? What is the value of log base b1? What is the value of log 1? So whatever the base is, so you can write 1 as log base b power 0. So 1 you can write it as b power 0. So this 0 will come like front side, and again log base bb, so it is going to be 1. This will give a value of 0, right? So log base b1 is going to be 0, correct? So the curve is something, it will go like this, the sense here. So when when t is equal to b, it is going to be 1. When t is equal to 1, the curve is going to be 0. So if you see that curve, so the curve will go something like this. Okay, it will start from infinity and it will go something like this. Okay, so now tell me, what is the value of log base b0? What is the value of log base b0 from the curve? Can you say where it will be? So it is going to infinity, right? So this is going to be infinity. Okay, so when it comes to log base b infinity, this is going to be minus infinity. Is it clear based on the curve? Yes or no? Thumbs up, anything? No, not clear. Okay, okay, so see, we have just started with the two values, which is nothing but log base b. Okay, so we all know that when base and this number is same, so it's going, it will give a value of 1. Log base b, whatever the number, log base 10 or so whatever it is, it will give log like it will give a value of 1. So I am marking it as, for b I am marking it as 1, and for 1 t, instead of t I am putting, because we are in the t line, right? So instead of t, if you put 1, it's going to be log b base 1. Okay, so 1 I am writing it as b power 0. Anything power 0 is 1, we know, right? So in the 0 log, we can take this 0 to front side, and log base bb is equal to again 1. So 0 into 1 is going to be 0. So with this one, so with this point and this point, I am drawing the curve. So it will come something like this. Okay, so here 1, here it is 1. When t is equal to 1, it's going to be 0. So the curve is going something like this. From this curve, I am asking, What is the log b of 0? When t is equal to 0, what is the value of log bt? So it is going to infinity, right? Similarly, when t goes to infinity, so you will be seeing that the log curve is approaching to minus infinity. Okay, this is what I just mean to say. Okay, fine. Now coming to log base t, log base b t when b is greater than 1. Okay, so again, this is your 1. So here, now it is going to be here. Okay, now it is going to be here. Fine. Now tell me the same, like a log base b. B is what? Log base b is again it's going to be 1. Okay, now log base b 1 is going to be again it's going to be 0. Correct? Okay, so now plot it here. Plot it here. When log base b 1, so t bala 1 and substitute பண்ணும்போது you are getting a 0 value. Correct? And when b is equal to, when t is equal to b, you are getting a 1 value. Correct? So how it is going to be? So how it is going to be? So it is going something like this. So it is starting something like this, and it is, as t increases, it is keep on going something like this. Okay, so this is how the log base b t when b is greater than 1. Okay, so now tell me what is the log of 0? Log log base b 0. What is log base b 0?
Infinity.
Infinity. Plus infinity or minus infinity? So where it is approaching? Where it is
Plus
approaching?
infinity.
Okay. It will go to minus infinity. Am I right? I am asking about this point. So this point, your curve is going to minus. This is minus infinity. What is the log base plus infinity? Yeah, you can
Infinity. Infinity.
you can mute. Yeah. Fine. So now you got to know, right? Okay, fine. So this is how we need to see the curve difference. So different, correct? Okay. Now the point is, okay. So now the point is, which one we are mostly using, whether this log or this log curve. In our calculation, which curve we are using? This curve or this curve? Yeah, come on.
Second one.
Second one, because whatever the log we are using, it's always we'll be using log base 10t, log base tங்கிற மாதிரி தான் வந்துட்டு நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். கரெக்டா? So this both 10 and e is going to be 2.31 something, right? So both are going to be greater than 1. For whatever the things, you have to follow the second curve, not the first. Right? And we will be using two kind of logs, right? So ln and log. What is the difference? Yeah, somebody? What is the difference between ln and log? Yeah, what about others? Yeah, what about others?
So log is basically has base 10, while ln has base e. So
Correct. Yeah. So that is what. So log is means see, whenever you have to use a log, you have to mention the base. Okay. So but நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம் அப்படின்னா, so we are not mentioning log ன்னு எழுதும்போது வந்துட்டு, so we are assuming that it is log base 10. Okay. So whenever you are writing a log, you have to mention the base. Okay. So if you are not mentioning the base, that is wrong way of representing. But still, what we are doing, if we are mentioning it as a log, we are considering that as a log base 10. Okay. So ln is nothing but ln base e. Sorry, ln is nothing but log base e ன்னு அர்த்தம். Okay. So that's அதுதான் வந்து நம்ம வந்து ln ன்னு வந்து மென்ஷன் பண்ணுவோம். Okay. So whatever we are using a ln or log, so we have to follow this curve only, this blue color curve only, not the red color one. Okay. Now tell me, what is the value of log base 10 infinity? What is the value of log base 10 infinity? Yeah, please. Infinity. So it is going to be infinity. Similarly, If I am asking what is the value of ln 0, what
1, sir.
1 na? Sure. Ln 0 அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? So it is nothing but log base e 0. E is going to be ங்கிறது வந்து b ஓட வேல்யூ greater than 1. So t க்கு பதிலா 0 சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணுங்க. சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணா எங்க என்ன போகும்? So this point la வந்துட்டு t is equal to இருந்தது. So it is
Infinity, sir.
right. Okay. So even if it is a ln 0 or log 0, log base 10 0, so you'll be getting a minus infinity. Okay. So just make sure that you're aware of it. Okay. You have to clear in this concept. Okay. So you should not get a doubt later on, like where to put a log base 10 or where to put a log. Okay. And you have to know what is the value of log 0, ln 0, log infinity, ln infinity. Okay. Fine. So hope it's clear, right? Okay. Now, yeah, so you can keep it. I'm waiting. Okay. Fine. Fine. Okay. So now comes to limits. Okay. Yeah. So I have given the definition. So it will not be much technical. So whatever the definition I'm giving, it will not be much technical. So you can easily understand. For example, some mathematical expression fails to give a deterministic output value for some particular input. In that case, instead of focusing on that particular input value, we'll be looking very close to that input value. Okay. So that's what we call it as a limit. We will understand through this example. Okay. Fine. So f of x is equal to x squared minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Okay. Fine. So if I am putting f of 0, what will you get? So this is going to be 0 minus 1 divided by 0 minus 1. So minus 1 divided by minus 1, you'll be getting 1. Okay. So when you put x is equal to, for example, 1 by 2, what will you get? So you'll be getting, yeah, 1 by 4 minus 1 divided by 1 by 2 minus 1. So this is going to be minus 3 by 4 minus 1 by 2. Which is going to be 3 by 2, which is 1.5, right? Okay. Now, what will come when you put x is equal to 1? Yeah, what will come? So 1 squared minus 1 divided by 1 minus 1. So you'll be getting a 0 by 0. So compared to other numbers, so this is giving something weird answer, right? So this is called undefined numbers. Yeah. So this is called undefined number. So when it's the function looks good only, like the whatever the expression, it looks good only. It is giving a value for a 0 and it is giving a value for 1 by 2. When you are applying 1, it is giving a 0 by 0. Correct? Okay. Now let's move on to f of 2 also and check what is happening. So when you put x is equal to 2, it's going to be 4 minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1, which is equal to 3 by 1, which is equal to 3. Okay. So for all other values, it is giving some deterministic output, correct? But when you are applying x is equal to 1, what is happening? So it is giving some indeterministic output, right? So this is what some mathematical expression fail to give a deterministic output value for some particular input. Okay. Fine. So this is what the first line is mentioning. Okay. Fine. So, okay. So you are doing some research work. Okay. So in that you will be getting one. You are formulating one expression like this, and this is where the input point you want to know the output. ஓகே ஸோ ஒன்னுங்கிற பாயிண்ட்ல வந்து அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து என்ன அவுட் கொடுக்குது அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து உங்களுக்கு தெரியணும். ஓகே ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து உங்களோட ரிசர்ச்சோட ஒரு முக்கியமான பாயிண்ட்ல வந்துட்டு உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சே ஆகணும். அப்படிங்கும்போது நீங்க என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? இப்போ வந்து நீங்க டைரக்டா 1 அப்ளை பண்ணும்போது இட் இஸ் கிவிங் 0 by 0 வந்து கிடைக்குது. ஓகே ஸோ how will you proceed then? Any idea?
Yellow petal.
I am asking simple. Like இந்த இடத்துல இருந்து எனக்கு 1 நான் சப்ஸ்டிட் பண்ணும்போது ஐ எம் கெட்டிங் சம் லைக் 0/0 இன்டிட்டர்மினிஸ்டிக் நம்பர் வந்து எனக்கு கிடைக்குது. ஸோ ஓகே, ஸோ பேசிக்கலா நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன் அப்படின்னா, ஸோ ஓகே ஓகே இந்த ஏன்னா நான் பாக்குறேன் வந்துட்டு 0 அப்ளை பண்ணும்போது எனக்கு ஒரு வேல்யூ கிடைக்குது, 1/2 அப்ளை பண்ணுவேன், 0.5 அப்ளை பண்ணும்போது எனக்கு ஒரு வேல்யூ கிடைக்குது, அதுக்கப்புறம் போகும்போது கூட எனக்கு வந்து வேல்யூ கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னா, ஸோ அந்த பாயிண்ட்ல மட்டும் வேல்யூ கிடைக்கலன்னு அர்த்தம். கரெக்டா? ஸோ அப்ப நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன் அப்படின்னா, ஸோ இந்த பாயிண்ட் அதுக்கு பக்கத்துல இருக்கக்கூடிய பாயிண்ட்ல நான் வந்துட்டு அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷன் என்ன வேல்யூ கொடுக்குது அப்படின்னு நான் பார்ப்பேன். பிகாஸ் இட்ஸ் லுக்ஸ் லைக் ஒரு இது வந்து இட்ஸ் அல்ஜிபிரிக் ஃபங்க்ஷன். கரெக்டா? ஸோ வந்துட்டு எதர் வந்துட்டு இது அப்படியே மேல போகும், இல்லைன்னா வந்துட்டு அப்படியே கீழே வரும். ஓகே, ஸோ அந்த பாயிண்ட் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்றதுக்கு பதிலாக நான் என்ன பண்ண போறேன் அப்படின்னா, அதுக்கு பக்கத்துல இருக்கக்கூடிய பாயிண்ட்ல அது வந்து அந்த ஃபங்க்ஷன் வந்து என்ன வேல்யூ கொடுக்குது அப்படின்னு நான் வந்து பார்க்க போறேன். ஓகே, fine. So let's take the function f of x squared minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Okay, fine. So இப்போ வந்துட்டு என்னன்னா 1ல தான் வந்துட்டு நமக்கு ப்ராப்ளம் வந்துட்டு இருக்கு. ஸோ அதனால நான் என்ன பண்றேன், f of 0.9 ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்றேன். ஓகே, ஸோ f of 0.9 ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ண என்ன, 0.9 squared minus 1 divided by 0.9 minus 1. So what will you get? 0.81 minus 1, which is equal to 1.9. Divided by 0.9. Okay, so if you put it's going to be 0.19 or if you put a 0.1 divided by putting it, you will be getting 1.9 on the correct. Okay, fine. So yeah, so f of 0.9 போடும்போது I am getting 1.9. Okay, so நான் என்ன பண்றேன், இன்னும் க்ளோசரா போய் பார்க்கறேன், f of 0.99 வந்து அப்ளை பண்றேன். ஸோ அப்ப என்ன வேல்யூ கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னு பாக்குறேன். ஓகே, ஸோ அப்ப என்ன வரும், 0.99 whole squared minus 1, 0.99 minus 1. So இதை நீங்க calculate பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா, so you'll be getting something like 1.99 கிடைக்கும். Okay, so if you go further, 0.999 போகும்போது 0.999 squared minus 1 divided by 0.999 minus 1 வரும். So you'll be getting something like 1.999 correct. So what it means, can anybody tell? So இதுல இருந்து நம்ம என்ன ஒரு கன்க்ளூஷன் எடுத்துக்கலாம்? So from this what we can take?
The value of f of 1 will be 1.99.
Yeah, so அப்ப f of 1 வந்துட்டு it is 1.999ங்கிறது என்னது, so if we even close to 1 like 0.9999 போட்டாலும் so we'll be getting 1.999 கிடைக்கும். கரெக்ட்டுங்களா? so which is, so அப்ப f of 1 ஓட வேல்யூ வந்துட்டு which is 2 அப்படி நம்ம வந்து எடுத்துக்கலாமா? so yeah, if you go closer and closer, the output also going closer and closer to 2. Correct? So can I take f of 1 is equal to 2? So again வந்துட்டு, so there is a confusion, there is a like we cannot surely say, right? so நம்ம வந்து என்ன பண்ணிருக்கோம், வந்து ஒரு சைடுல இருந்து 0.1க்கு இந்த சைடுல இருந்து லெஃப்ட் சைடுல இருந்து நம்ம வந்துட்டு அப்ரோச் பண்ணி பார்த்திருக்கோம். சோ நம்ம வந்து 2ன்னு நான் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு வந்துட்டு என்ன பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா, ரைட் சைடுல இருந்து வந்து பார்க்கணுமா? கரெக்டா? சோ ஒரு சைடுல மட்டும் நம்ம வந்து பார்த்துட்டு நம்ம வந்து அதை டிஃபைன் பண்ண முடியாது. சோ வந்து we have to come from this one, we are going from left hand side. So here we need to go from right hand side also, right? So எந்த பாயிண்ட் எடுக்கலாம்? let's take 1.1 எடுக்கலாமா? so 1.1 எடுத்தா என்ன வரும், 1.1 squared minus 1 divided by 1.1 minus 1. so 1.1ங்கிறது என்னது, it's going to be 1.1 squared is going to be 2. Yeah, what you will get, 2.21 or what it is? Yeah, somebody, what is the value of 1.1 squared? 1.21, right? so 11 square is nothing but 1.21 minus 1, right? so this is going to be 0.1. so what you will get, 0.21 divided by 0.1, which is equal to 2.1. okay, so yeah, we'll further closer to 1, we'll go further closer to 1, which is going to be 1.01. so you'll be, when you put a 1.01 whole squared by 1.01 minus 1, so this value is going to be 2.01. Okay, so you can just put it and get the value. Okay, 1.001 if you go, so this is going to give a value of 2.001. Okay, so now you can confidently say that when you are approaching from left hand side and when you are approaching from right hand side, you are end up with the value which is equal to 2. Am I right? Yes or no? When you are coming from left hand side and when you are coming from right hand side, you are end up at a value of 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Correct. Okay. So now, yeah, I got to know that upon the 1 point on the, so my function is giving a value of 2. So can I write something like f of 1 is equal to 2? Can I write like this? Yeah. Please give a confirmation. Can I write like this? F of 1 is equal to 2?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Then what about this? F of 1 is equal to 0 by 0. This is correct. So when I am putting x equal to 1 in the function, I am getting 0 by 0. But I got to know my f of 1 is closer, like when I am approaching from left hand side and I am approaching from right hand side, my f of 1 is going to be 2. But it's not exactly 2, right? இது 2 இருக்கலாம் அப்படி நீங்க வந்து predict பண்றீங்களே தவிர்த்து it is not exactly equal to 2. அதாவது வந்து mathematically you cannot say that f of 1 is equal to 2. Mathematically f of 1 is 0 by 0, which is indeterminate form, correct? So in the case la, so we will be mentioning the same as, so but we know that it is approaching 2, right? See, take the word approaching 2, correct? It is not exactly equal to 2, it is approaching 2. So in the இடத்துல தான் வந்துட்டு, so we are using a concept of limit. So I cannot write f of 1 is equal to 2, but I can write when a limit extends to 1, my f of x is giving value of 2. Okay, this is not correct. This is only correct. So when limit extends to, when the x goes approaching 1, my f of x is giving a value of 2. Is it clear? More opt sentence, right? Okay. So now coming back to this limit concept, some mathematical expression fails to give a deterministic output value for some particular input. In that case, instead of focusing on that particular input value, we'll be looking very close to that input. Okay, so that is what the concept of limits come. Okay, we know that the function is not working for that x equal to 1. So how can I proceed further? So I have to proceed further to do my research, right? So in that case, we will be taking a help of limit. So limit will hold that limit நம்ம யூஸ் பண்றதுனால வந்துட்டு it is not f of 1 is equal to 2, but it is x value is approaching 1, my function is going to give a value of 2. So limit வந்துட்டு, so it is stays with this limit. Okay, fine. Is it clear, everyone? This is a basic concept in calculus. Okay, so if you understand this, it's very essential to understand this concept. Okay, any doubt here?
Clear, sir.
Okay, good, fine. Then yeah, so then we will go for a condition for existence of limit. Okay, so ஸோ எப்போ வந்துட்டு ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு வந்து லிமிட் இருக்கு அப்படின்னு நான் வந்து சொல்ல முடியும் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு இது இருக்கு. ஓகே, ஸோ இப்போ வந்துட்டு நான் வந்துட்டு இந்த லாஸ்ட் கேஸ்ல வந்துட்டு ஃபைன். ஓகே, ஸோ எப்போ நம்ம கன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணோம் இதோட வேல்யூ வந்து 2 தானுங்கிறது எப்படி கன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணோம்? ஸோ ஸ்டார்டிங்ல வந்துட்டு லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட் சைட்ல இருந்து வந்தோம், அதுக்கப்புறம் என்ன பண்ணோம் ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைட்ல இருந்து வந்தோம். சோ ரெண்டோட வேல்யூ வந்துட்டு சேமா இருக்கிற பட்சத்துல வந்துட்டு சோ நம்ம என்ன பண்ணோம், ஓகே இதோட வேல்யூ வந்துட்டு 2 தான் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நம்ம வந்து ப்ரெடிக்ட் பண்ணோம். கரெக்டா? சோ இப்படிதான் வந்துட்டு ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு வந்துட்டு அது வந்து ஃபெயில் ஆகுது அப்படின்னு நமக்கு தெரிஞ்சிருச்சு. சோ அப்போ வந்துட்டு நான் லிமிட்டை யூஸ் பண்ணி நான் வந்துட்டு அதுக்கு வந்து ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் வேல்யூ அசைன் பண்ண முடியுமா அப்படிங்கறத நான் வந்துட்டு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஆஃப் ஆல் நான் வந்து செக் பண்ணணும். சோ அதை செக் பண்றதுக்கு So I have to go from left hand side, I have to go from right hand side. Okay, so this is what the condition of existence of limit. A function is said to have a limit exist at a point A. So A ங்கிறது என்னது x is equal to 1 ன்னு அர்த்தம். So then at a point A ல வந்துட்டு left hand லிமிட்டும் right hand லிமிட்டும் வந்து சேமா இருக்கணும். Okay, is it clear? So left hand limit அப்படிங்கிறது ஒண்ணும் இல்ல. See வந்துட்டு x equal to 1க்கு தான் வந்துட்டு நீங்க செக் பண்ணீங்க கரெக்டா. So what it means, so limit extends to a minus அப்படின்னா என்னது 1க்கு just beforeல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு வேல்யூ. Okay, so so இத வந்துட்டு நீங்க வந்து you can like approximately you can write f of 0.999 வந்து எடுத்துக்கலாம். f of a minus அப்படின்னா just before a. Okay, just before 1 அப்படின்னு எடுத்துக்கலாம். So இது வந்து என்னது f of which is nothing but f of 1.00001 அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி எடுத்துக்கலாம். Okay, limit extends to a plus f of x. So ரெண்டோட வேல்யூ வந்துட்டு சேமா இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா at the same time இதோட வேல்யூ வந்து finite in வேல்யூவா இருக்கணும். Okay, finite in நம்பரா இருக்கணும். So அப்படி இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா you can say that a limit exists for a given function at a particular point a அப்படின்னு நம்ம வந்து define பண்ணலாம். Okay, so same thing, they just modified the term. Okay, so f of x minus h. X minus h ங்கிறது வந்து என்னன்னா, so instead of putting x tends to a minus பதிலா they are taking x minus h ன்னு போட்டு இந்த h tends to வந்து h வந்து 0 ன்னு போட்டுக்கறாங்க. Okay, so this is also both are same. Okay, so limit h tends to 0 f of x plus h. So any condition, so either this one or this one satisfies, you can say that a limit exists for a function. Okay, is it clear? So yeah, so we will understand this existence of limit with this graph. Okay, fine. So let's take this is a one function. Okay, ஒரு equation இருக்குன்னா வந்து அந்த equationல வந்து ஒவ்வொரு வேல்யூ சப்ஸ்டிட்யூட் பண்ணி we can draw the curve. So last caseல அப்படிதானே பார்த்தோம். e power x ஆ இருக்கட்டும் log x ஆ இருக்கட்டும், நம்ம என்ன பண்ணோம், ஸ்டார்டிங்ல இருந்து ஒவ்வொரு பாயிண்ட் பண்ணி we connected the dots. கரெக்ட்டா? So அதே மாதிரி வந்துட்டு so there is function and they plotted a graph for this. Okay, so இதுல வந்து பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா வந்து இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல என்ன இருக்கு, there is a there is a gap. Correct? Corresponding in the x ல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா, so let's take this is your x and this is your y. Okay, so இந்த x ங்கற இன்புட்ல வந்துட்டு so the y is ஒரு கேப் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா என்ன அர்த்தம், so there is a no definite value for x at that point, right? So y க்கு வந்துட்டு இந்த x வந்துட்டு இங்க for example x1 x0 ங்க அப்ளை பண்ணும்போது so there is no defined value, that's why there is a gap. Okay, otherwise they will keep even if it is some 100 or 1000 ஆ இருந்தாலும் வந்துட்டு so how the curve will go like they kept something like this, right? But here there is nothing is there, which means what, there is an undefined value. Okay, now my question is, can we write a limit for this or not? Can we write limit for this? Yeah, anybody? So இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல ஓகே, நான் இப்போ வந்துட்டு f of x0 அப்படின்னு போடும்போது என்னால வந்துட்டு எந்த ஒரு இதுமே எழுத முடியாது. so it is going to be 0/0 or whatever the format. Okay, fine, இது undefined formனு தெரிஞ்சிருச்சு. இப்போ வந்துட்டு என்னால limit extends to x0 f of x equal to some value னு எழுத முடியுமா முடியாதா? That is my question.
Yeah, we can write, sir.
How you are saying?
The plus or minus, we can have some values.
Okay, plus or minus in the sense, what do you mean?
And before that, x0 before some value, less
Okay.
than x0 and greater than x0, we can find the values and we can write.
Correct. So correct. So இப்போ என்ன பண்ணிருப்போம் அப்படின்னா என்ன பண்ணோம்னா வந்து இந்த சைடுல இருந்து நம்ம வந்து அப்ரோச் பண்ணிட்டு வந்தோம். So இந்த சைடுல இருந்து அப்ரோச் பண்ணிட்டு வந்தோம். So we got some value, like we got some value, correct? அதே மாதிரி வந்துட்டு ரைட் சைடுல இருந்து அப்ரோச் பண்ணிட்டு வரும்போது so we are getting we will be end up with this value, correct? So which is very close to each other, right? So இங்க வந்து உங்களுக்கு விஷுவலா தெரியணும் அப்படிங்கறதுக்காக வந்துட்டு ஒரு பெரிய கேப் விட்டுருக்கேன். So நீங்க வந்துட்டு ஆக்சுவலா பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த ஒரு பாயிண்ட்ல மட்டும் தான் வந்துட்டு வேல்யூ வந்து இல்லாம இருக்கும், மத்த எல்லா பாயிண்ட்லயும் வேல்யூ இருக்கு அப்படின்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. So அப்ப just before x0 just after x0 நீங்க கம்பேர் பண்ணி பாத்தீங்கன்னா the values will be approximately equal, correct? Are you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then we can say that the given function at this point, I can write a limit, which means a limit is exist for this function at a particular point x1. Is it clear? Good. Now tell me, for this point, okay, for this point, let's take again x naught. Okay, let me take x1. Okay, let me take x1. Say limit exist or not. X1. Yeah. Can somebody tell whether limit exists or not? First of all, so when you go to x1, so what you will see? So when you go to x1, if you substitute x1, what value you will get in the function? What value you will get? Yeah. Anybody? Let me give something like here it's going to be 3 and here it's going to be 5. Okay. So when I'm putting x1 in the function y equal to some f of x, what will you get for x1? Will you get
Between 3
3
to
or 5?
5. 3 to 5.
Between 3 to 5.
Limit from
Which
3
number
to
will you
5.
say? Yeah, which number will you say?
From 3 to 5.
Yeah, can we write from 3 to 5 in if I'm putting something like f of x1, can I write something like 3 to 5? We cannot write, right? We cannot write like this, right? So again, this also called a indeterminate form. Okay, so we cannot define a particular value for x1. Okay, so because it's a straight line, it is changing abruptly, correct? So we cannot define a particular value for x1. So again, this is also for x1. You can say it's a undefined. Okay, fine. So if it is undefined, tell me whether can we write a limit for this function or not?
No, we cannot write.
Why?
Only for definite values we can write the limits.
Here also it's indefinite, right? Here the value is not at all exist. Here some value exists, but we cannot deterministically say that it will have this value, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then so again the concept is same. So to write a limit, we have to check from left hand side and we have to come from right hand side, and we have to see both nearby points are giving a same value or not. So here what is giving? If you come from left hand side, what you will get? So if you come from left hand side, right? So if you come from left hand side, let's say this value, this point will give this point, this point will give this point, this point will give somewhere around 3. You will be getting a 3 value, correct? Similarly, if you come from this side, so for this point you will get here, for this point you will get here, for this point you will get somewhere around 5, correct? So f of x1 minus, just before x, you will be getting a value of 3. F of x1 plus, just after x, you will be getting a value of 5. So is it same? Can you write a value for this? If it is both are same, then you can say that that is the value you will be getting for when you are writing a limit, right? So now what you will say? Yeah. Yeah, come on. So whether limit exists or not.
Sir,
If
for approved changes, there is not at all any limit exists, sir.
okay, for abrupt changes, there is not at all limit exists. Yeah, okay. I am saying like what I am trying to say is we need to check with some basics. So basic is we need to go from left hand side to that point, and we need to go from right hand side to that point. You have to check the corresponding y value. If both are same, then only limit exists. Otherwise, limit is not exist. How many of you having a doubt here? How many of you not clear? You can give thumbs down so that I will repeat again.
Sir, I have a doubt, sir.
Yes, what?
So while we just consider about the impulse signals
Okay,
and as well as the unit impulse, we just go for the signal is suddenly changed from zero to some other value. For
okay,
the signal just change over from zero state to some other state.
okay,
There is not at all any time differences during that time.
okay,
So at that time, we not specify any limit over for that period.
correct. So you
So
are, yeah, correct.
it's
Like,
existing also, so only I have a doubt, sir.
yeah, yeah. That's what I am saying. Why limit is? I just want to answer whether limit exists or not. So if someone gives the answer, I will go forward with that. So here, can we write limit or not?
No, sir.
No. Yeah. Please give the reason also. I'll be very happy.
Sir, because the LHS, I mean, left hand limit and right hand limit are not equal. So we
Yeah.
cannot say the limit exists, sir.
Correct. Okay. Very good. So that's why. So when you are coming from left hand side, you are getting a 3. When you are coming from right hand side, you are getting a 5. And you don't know like what value you will be putting for the limit also, right? So definitely here limit will not exist. So now, like from here only, we will be saying that whenever there is an abrupt change, so there we cannot write a limit, because the left hand, when you come from left hand side and when you come from right hand side, you will be getting a different value. So you cannot decide which value have to put for a limit. Okay, so that is the reason. Good. So yeah, now you understand this limit, right? Yeah. Another question I would like to ask: what is the limit at x3, x2? Limit exist or not?
Exist.
Exist. Who is that? Yeah. Okay. So why it is exist? Can you give the reason quickly?
After a certain point, it just maintain a constant value, sir.
Okay.
Less than that value also, nearby values will be there.
Good. So when you come to like when you are approaching from this side also, you are end upping with this value. When you are coming from this side also, you will be end up with this value. Okay, correct. So both are very near. We can say it is almost when you are talking about x1 minus x1 plus, you will be getting a y value which is very closer to each other. So which means we can say it is a equal. So in that case, we can say a limit exists. Okay. See, why I want to give this point is it doesn't mean that limit concept will applicable only when you are getting a indeterministic value. So here you are getting indeterministic value, you are going for a limit. Okay. Here you are getting some indeterministic value, you are going for a limit. It's not the case. You can go for a limit, even though it is giving some. See here, what you will get somewhere around that. Let's say this is at 0.2 minus 2 means when you are applying f of x2, you will be getting a 2 as a value, correct? So still I can write the same thing as limit x2 okay, x tends to x2, f of x is equal to 2, correct? Even though a function is properly defined, so I can still use represent the same thing with a limit. Are you getting my point? How many of you getting my point?
Yes, sir, clear.
Clear, right? Good.
Yeah.
Fine. So anybody has doubt on this point? Please give thumbs up if you're okay with all these 3 questions. Yeah, I'm seeing only one thumbs up. What about others? Narmada, Vel Murugan, Preeta. Good. Fine. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now you are clear with the concept of limit. Good. So, where is it? Okay. Now what we are going to do is see if some function is given. If some function is given like this, okay. So at x is equal to 1, they are asking what is the limit of this function at x is equal to 1 அப்படின்னு கேக்குறாங்கன்னா basically what they will ask, they will basically ask limit x tends to 1 f of x வந்து என்னன்னு கேட்பாங்க. So here we found it is equal to 2. So இதை எப்படி கண்டுபிடிச்சோம்? So we were coming from applying a value 0.9 0.99 0.999 கண்டுபிடிச்ச ஒரு வேல்யூ வந்துச்சு. அதே மாதிரி வந்து ரைட் சைடுல இருந்து வந்தோம் 1.1 1.01 1.001 வரப்ப இன்னொரு வேல்யூ வந்துச்சு. ஸோ ரெண்டும் வந்து ஈக்குவலான்னு பார்த்துட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் வந்துட்டு ஸோ வி ஃபவுண்ட் தட் இட் இஸ் கோயிங் டு பி 2 அப்படின்னு நம்ம வந்து கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்கோம். கரெக்டா? ஸோ இதே மெத்தட் வந்துட்டு நம்ம எல்லா ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கும் ஃபாலோ பண்றதுங்கிறது இட்ஸ் அ டிஃபிகல்ட் ஒன், ரைட்? இட்ஸ் அ லாட் ஆஃப் மேனுவல் ஒர்க், கரெக்ட்? ஸோ இதை ரெடியூஸ் பண்றதுக்கு தான் ஸோ தேர் இஸ் அ மெத்தட் கால்ட் எல்ஹாஸ்பிடல் ரூல். ஓகே, ஃபைன். ஸோ அதுதான் வந்து நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம். ஸோ பிஃபோர் தட், so first we should find out what are all the different form of indeterminate forms. Okay, yeah. So can you give me like what are all the different forms of indeterminate? Yes. Can anybody? Yeah. So 0 by 0, we know that it's an indeterminate form. Infinity by infinity. Then come on.
Infinity multiplied by infinity.
Okay, infinity minus infinity. What else?
Infinity power infinity.
Okay.
Infinity power minus infinity.
Is it so? I don't think. This both is not a indeterminate form. It has a determinate value. And basically, what else we can map? So this is an indeterminate form. What else? Yeah. So this is also indeterminate form. Okay. So take this as an assignment. Okay. See, out of this, only the whatever marked, right? So those are all indeterminate forms. Okay. So you have to keep in mind, and you can check why it looks like an indeterminate, right? It looks like indeterminate. 0 power minus infinity. Like usually we don't know the value, but it has some certain value. Okay. So the assignment is you have to find why this is determinate form and what is the value. So definitely if it is a determinate form, you will be getting some definite value, right? Why these are all definite value, and you can check whichever you are having a doubt, go and Google it and find why this is indeterminate and why it is determinate and why it is indeterminate. You have to find out. So will you take this assignment? Can you do it?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Fine. So now, yeah. Okay. So now coming to L'Hospital rule. Okay. So what it is doing is the L'Hospital rule is doing it helps to find out the limits of a given function in a faster way. Okay. So this will see the first thing, it will help only it will not help for the function whichever is having a limit. So you have to keep in mind. So this L'Hospital rule will help whenever there is a function which has a limits. Okay. So அங்க மட்டும் தான் வந்துட்டு L'Hospital rule வந்து ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும். So லிமிட்டே எக்ஸிஸ்ட் ஆகாத இந்த மாதிரி ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்குலாம் வந்துட்டு இந்த மாதிரி ஃபங்க்ஷனுக்கு வந்துட்டு லிமிட் எக்ஸிஸ்டா இருக்கும்போது ஸோ இந்த வேல்யூ ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்றதுக்கு L'Hospital ரூல் வந்து யூஸ் ஆகும். ஓகே. பட் இந்த கேஸ்ல வந்துட்டு ஸோ இந்த ஃபங்க்ஷன்ல வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இந்த பாயிண்ட்ல வந்து நீங்க ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா ஸோ L'Hospital ரூல் வில் நாட் ஹெல்ப். ஓகே. ஸோ லிமிட் எக்ஸிஸ்டா இருந்தா மட்டும்தான் அதை வந்து ஈஸியா கண்டுபிடிக்கிறதுக்கு வந்துட்டு L'Hospital ரூல் வந்து யூஸ் ஆகும். ஓகே, ஃபைன். ஸோ இஃப் லிமிட் எக்ஸ்டென்ஸ் டு a f of x divided by g of x. ஸோ இந்த ஃபார்ம்ல வந்துட்டு ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அண்ட் இட் டேக்ஸ் த ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் ஃபார்ம் வென் யூ ஆர் அப்ளைங் x is equal to a வந்து அப்ளை பண்ணும்போது இஃப் இட் இஸ் டேக் த ஃபார்ம் 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity or any other form. any other indeterminate form. Okay, so அப்படி இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா you can write the same thing as limit x tends to a f of x by g of x can be written as is equal to limit x tends to a f dash of x g dash of x ன்னு வந்து எழுதிக்கலாம். ஓகே, so அடுத்து என்ன பண்ணணும், again you have to apply this x is equal to a வந்து apply பண்ணணும். You'll be getting some value, and if it is again 0 by 0, if it is a finite value, then you can stop it. Okay, you'll be getting a limit like a kind of limit the value வந்து நீங்க வந்து கண்டுபிடிச்சிருவீங்க. Okay, if it is not, if you are again getting 0 by 0 or infinity by infinity அப்படின்னா you have to go till you are getting a deterministic value, which means what, again the same thing you can do a double differentiation, triple differentiation, like that you have to go. Is it clear? Is it clear? Maybe it will be little difficult to understand here. When you go to some problems, you will understand. Okay, so let's take our known problem. What is it? F of x is equal to x squared minus 1 divided by x minus 1. Okay, so at which point they are looking for? At x is equal to 1. Okay, so last case la enna paathom 0.9 0.99 னு substitute பண்ணி பார்த்தோம். So இப்போ வந்து நம்ம, so we know that this has a for this function limit is exist அப்படி நமக்கு தெரியும். So இப்போ வந்து என்ன பண்ண போறோம்னா directly we are going to find out the value when x approaching 1, which means limit x tends to 1 f of x வந்து கண்டுபிடிக்க போறோம். Okay, fine. So how to do that? Yes, first of all இது வந்துட்டு f of x by g of xங்கிற ஃபார்மேட்ல இருக்கா அப்படின்னு பார்க்கணும். So நான் இங்க வந்து f of x ன்னு கொடுத்திருக்கேன், but still you can like split the function. So numeratorல ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் இருக்கு, denominatorல ஒரு ஃபங்க்ஷன் இருக்கு, கரெக்ட்டா? So f of x ன்னு எடுத்துக்கிறதுக்கு பதிலா what we can take something as g of x ன்னு எடுத்துக்கலாம் இத. ஓகே, இந்த ஃபங்க்ஷனை g of x ன்னு எடுத்துக்கலாம். So இது வந்து இந்த ஃபார்ம் ஆஃப் f of x by g of xங்கிற ஃபார்மேட்ல இருக்கு. So which is equal to x squared minus 1 divided by x minus 1ங்கிற ஃபார்மேட்ல இருக்கு. So now we want to find limit x tends to 1 f of x by g of x வந்து கண்டுபிடிக்கணும், கரெக்ட்டா? So limit x tends to 1. So if it is f of x by g of x ன்னு இருந்துச்சுன்னா, as per L'Hospital rule படி நம்ம என்ன பண்ணலாம், we can write it as f dash of x by g dash of x ன்னு எழுதலாம், கரெக்ட்டா? So f dash of x by g dash of x, right? So அப்ப எப்படி எழுதலாம், limit x tends to 1 f dash of xங்கிறது என்னது, this is a f of x, f dash of xங்கிறது it's a derivative, right? So x squared minus 1ங்கிறத derivative எடுத்தீங்கன்னா என்ன வரும், 2x ன்னு வரும், கரெக்ட்டா? 2x minus 0 ன்னு வரும். So this is going to be 1 minus 0. So limit x tends to 1 2x. So if you substitute x is equal to 1, you will be getting 2. See how quickly we are getting, instead of going with 0.9 0.99 1.01 and 1.001 and all. So this is the this is the power of L'Hospital rule. It will give, like, it will help us to find easily the limits. Is it clear? Okay, so can you try this one? X cube plus x squared divided by 2x cube minus 7x squared. Can you give me the answer for this? So think that it is having a limit. Okay, limit is exist அப்படினு நீங்க கன்சிடர் பண்ணிட்டு you go for it. So I will take just 5 more minutes. Okay. You can give me the answer here in the chat box. Yeah, let me also try parallelly. So you try on yourself. Okay. So I got some answer as minus 0.1428. Okay. What about others? So the same thing can be written as limit extends to 0 f dash of x. So this is for f of x, g of x. So when you take f dash of x, it's going to be 3x squared plus 2x and g dash of x minus 1 by 7. Okay. So this is going to be 6x squared minus 14x. If you substitute x is equal to 0, what you will get? So you'll be getting 3 0 plus 2 0 0. Okay. 6 into 0 minus 14 into 0. Again, you will be getting 0 by 0. Okay. So most of us getting minus 1 by 7. So I hope that minus 0.1428 is a value of minus 1 by 7, right? Fine. So yeah, so it is again it is giving a 0 by 0. So we need to go for one more round. So you have to take x tends to 0. Again, you can differentiate the numerator and differentiate the denominator separately. Okay, don't do numerator by denominator whole, like don't do the differentiation of whole numerator and denominator. Okay, you have to do separately because this is f double dash of x divided by g double dash of x. So this is where f dash of x you have to do double dash means it's going to be 6x plus 2 divided by 12x minus 14. Okay, if you do that, you'll be getting what? 6, 2, you will be getting 2. Here it's going to be 14, minus 14, right? So this is going to be minus 1 by 7. Very good. Yes. So everyone is getting minus 1 by 7. Good. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we will stop today here, and tomorrow we will continue with some more problems on limits, and from there we will go to continuity and differentiability concepts. Okay. Is it clear today, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts you can ask here? Okay, you want to see the homework sum? Which one I gave? Homework determinant form. Okay. Indeterminate from form sum. Indeterminate form sum. Which one are you asking about this? What else I gave? I didn't give anything. Okay. I think this one only. Yeah, sure. Like somebody asking for some for practice. Maybe tomorrow onwards, I will be giving some homework problems. Okay, you can do some practice and see if you want to practice. You can take any previous year questions. Just go out for the limits. See, you have a basic now. Okay, so you understand what is limit and how to find the existence of limit, everything. So you can start practicing. Okay, so I suggest every day you go and practice some problems. Better take recent year problems, recent 3 to 3 years problem for main streams. Okay, whatever the departments you are, take along with it, take some other streams also, and do start practicing. Okay, we are just having a 1 month of time, so start practicing. Then only you will get some good marks. Okay, fine. Okay, then we can leave for today. Thank you all.